Hey guys, Absolutely Cars here and welcome to the channel. Today we do have something pretty awesome for you guys today. We have basically been invited by Gatwick Honda to basically go and try or test drive their brand new Honda Civic Type R. They're basically going to give this us for about 3 or 4 days so we can basically have an idea of what the car's like, etc, etc, etc. Now, we've basically first looked at this car at the Goodwood Festival Speed this year, 2017, and we absolutely fell in love with it. And as I say, me and my partner, we love this car very, very much. And now we've been kind of asking Honda for a while if we can drive one of their cars, and they've actually now decided to give in and give us this car for the next 3 or 4 days so we can basically test drive it, see what it's like, give us our kind of reviews and ideas about the car, and go from there really. So yeah, I'm basically waiting for a taxi now to come and pick me up, to take me into Gatwick today to go and pick this car up. So without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you at Gatwick Honda. Cheers! So guys, we have finally reached Honda Gatwick and we are now here to basically pick up the new Honda Civic Type R that Honda Gatwick have kindly lent us today. So yeah, without further ado, let's go and do this. Let's go inside and retrieve this car. As you can see, there's some few nice cars. They're not really my sort of car that I would normally go for. But yeah, once again, like I said, Honda have kindly lent me this car to use for a couple of days now. And I'm really looking forward to it. So let's do this, guys. Let's go in and see this car. You are currently waiting to be seen to. How fun. So guys, Morris now, which is basically the car dealership guy that I've now been dealing with, is literally just about to bring the car out now. So in the next few moments now, the car will be released out of this wonderful showroom and we'll have a look around this wonderful 2017 Honda Civic Type R. Cool, you can do it then. Awesome, that is the new 2017 Honda Civic Type R. So guys, here she is. This is the brand spanking new Honda Civic Type R 2017 model. This is a pretty special car. Honda have kindly lent me this for the next couple of days, just to have basically a test drive, a drive around and get a feel of this car to see what it's all about. This is a pretty incredible car, really. Just had to move the way out there because someone wanted to get out the car park, which was typical. But yeah, this is a pretty incredible car. There's a few little optional extras on this car that have been placed on it, and I really do like it. Obviously, the car is blue, so it is absolutely fantastic colour. I love the colour. It has, okay, so moving on, it has Sport Continental Cup 2 tyres on this, with the obviously red trimming around the alloys, which is really cool. That's actually physically put onto the alloys itself, so it looks really, really cool. Just kind of just defines the wheels a little bit more. Also has the Brembo brake pads and discs, front and back. As you can see, it has all kind of air scoops and air vents, and basically has the carbon as well, with the red kind of like pinstriped edges. And there's a lot of pinstriping around this car, which I really like, because it kind of defines it a little bit and brings the car out. Now, the back of the car there's a lot going on. There's an awful lot going on. I do like the back of it. It takes a little while to kind of get used to what's going on at the back. I do like the kind of triple exhaust that it's got. It's very much like the Ferrari 458. This car is in absolutely no category of the Ferrari at all. It's a completely different car. But yeah, I just kind of like that triple exhaust at the back. It looks really, really cool. Obviously, big spoiler, really big chunky spoiler at the back. Some people might not like it, some people might hate it at all. It's a bit like Marmite, this car. You either love it or you hate it. I actually really, really like it. You're probably wondering why it's got all these kind of funky extras on it. You're probably thinking, oh, it's such an over kind of zealous car. And what I mean is, it's just a lot going on, lots of angles, lots of corners. Now, this holds the current hatchback track record around the Nürburgring track of something like 7 minutes 40, something like that. Please correct me in the comment section below if I'm wrong, but it holds the hatchback kind of like record for the hatchback going around the Nürburgring, which is great. So this car is pretty quick. Staying on the subject of speed, this car has about 361 brake horsepower. It would do roughly 155, 160 mile an hour, maybe just over, and you can really give it some. But it's not the fastest car in the world, but it's how it gets to it. It's the important thing. It's obviously a manual car. They don't do these in automatic at all, but it has a system in the car called rev matching. Now, rev matching is basically a device in the car. So you are driving along, saying doing 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, and basically your car saying it's tagging along and you want to change gear. So to make the gear changes as smooth as possible, you will place your foot on the clutch as per normal, as you would in a normal manual car. But then what will happen is it will bring the it will match the clutch rev, or the speed of the clutch, with the revs of the car that the engine's going at. So when you change gear with the lever, it literally is instant. It is just instant gear change. So it's a bit like having an automatic, semi-automatic kind of gearbox in your car, but it's manual. It's a very, very clever system, and obviously hence why it's got a track record around Nürburgring, because obviously it's now managed to save probably 4 or 5 seconds around the track because of this system. It is a brilliant, brilliant innovation in this car. But anyway, moving on, obviously this is a front wheel drive car, so all the power is brought from the front of the car. So the wheels spin at the front. Now this is very, very different. Obviously a lot of cars, engines at the front, wheel wells at the back, engines powered from the back of the wheels. But this is obviously a front wheel drive car, and obviously the power comes from the front. So yeah, the way it portrays its power and puts its power out for a front wheel car at 361 horsepower is pretty incredible. This is a very, very, very quick car for what it is. Yeah, it's certainly got some balls. So hence why it's got a track record around Nürburgring. But yeah, we'll have a quick look around just outside quickly, just a few more little bits and bobs, and then we'll quickly head inside of the car just to kind of get an idea of what's inside the car and what extras you can have and what extras are in this car. So if you do fancy yourself a Honda Civic Type R, yeah, it gives you an idea of what you can get. But yeah, the front grille, just quickly, or the front area, is looking pretty, yeah, lots of angles, lots of straight angles, lots of different things I can look at it. It's a great looking car. Some people beg to differ. I love the look of this car. It's got obviously the kind of bonnet air vent that's on the front of it, just makes it a little bit more sportier. It sits really nicely. It's got a lot of little features, this car. So without further ado, let's move inside the car, have a look around on the inside, what features they've got in the inside, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's a great looking car. So guys, let's make our way into the car. Just have to squeeze in because these seats are very kind of like sporty looking, and go from there. So now I'll shut the car door. As you can see inside now, you've got Honda Civic Type R racing seats. These really do put you in the seats quite nicely indeed. You are very, very snug in this car. And one of the things which I want to show you is this carbon finish. If you could just see the carbon finish here, basically when Honda, or you buy a standard Civic, okay, or Honda Civic Type R, it comes with carbon. Now the carbon that actually comes in the car is imitation carbon, so it's not actually real carbon. But Honda are very clever with it, obviously, because it looks more expensive than it actually really is. So for a standard Honda Civic Type R, it's about £32,000 for a standard Civic Type R. So it does come with the carbon imitation effect, but it's obviously not real. But obviously, wants to say carbon are very Honda, shall I say, are very, very clever with their selling, and they've basically said, well, if you want real carbon and you want to treat it and have real carbon, then you can pay a few extras. So this car has that optional extra, sorry, shall I say, getting my words mixed up. It has the optional extra of the carbon that's actually being put in. So this is real carbon with the carbon effect in it, and it has like this red dot kind of Type R feel inside the carbon. Now I absolutely love it. I love that carbon. In fact, I want it on my other cars. I think it looks absolutely awesome. The whole dash itself just looks really, really cool. Obviously here's the steering wheel. That is the kind of like the vision that you would see from the dash, etc. I'll turn the car on in a minute just to get an idea. Obviously there's more carbon just there. There's carbon blades on the door sills there. There's carbon in the middle there. Obviously you can see there the Type R with the model number. This car has got it all, including there in the middle. You've got a wireless charging unit, so you can charge your phone. Obviously the current iPhone, like iPhone 7, doesn't do it, but anything kind of up from that, iPhone 8, the new 10 when it comes out, all going to be wireless charging. Obviously Samsung Galaxy 8 and stuff like that do wireless charging will all work on this. You can also connect your phone at the back, just behind here, to a charging point and a HDMI point, so you can literally have your phone, you can have Apple Play, all sorts, etc, etc with this car. But yeah, it looks absolutely epic. The interior of this car does feel in some respects a little bit kind of cheap, plasticky, compared to some of the cars that I've driven, some of the cars that I've got. The finish doesn't feel as nice as, say, like the AMG, or especially the Audi RS7, even the McLaren. But obviously you're paying a lot more premium money for what you're getting for those cars, so that basically goes without saying. So for what you're getting in a Civic, it's actually pretty good. So like I said, once again, Civic standard price is 32 grand. But this particular car, with all the extras on it, all the extra bits and bobs, the carbon, a few other bits here and there, you're looking at 37,000, just over 37 grand. So it's an extra 5 grand on top of what the standard model is. So you can get this car looking really, really special. And I believe this is the only one in the country that's got all this trimming and extras on it. So I feel very, very privileged to be able to drive this car and use it for a few days. But yeah, it's a pretty epic car. I would love to own one. We'll have to see about that at some other day. We might even decide to get this one. We don't know yet. This is going to be Jess's car. She's going to be buying it, so we have to figure that one out, etc, etc. But yeah, it's something to figure about at the later date. So but yeah, obviously there is the gear knob. We'll take this for a little drive in a moment, but just give you an idea at the back. Obviously it's quite tight in here. This is the back seats. It's actually quite very good visibility at the back. The visibility at the back of the car is actually pretty good. The way they've designed the wing is really clever, so you can actually see it outside the car, and kind of just, yeah, the view at the back is really cool. So it's great. This car's got a load of safety features, lane assist, you name it, has got everything. In fact, it's probably the most safe car that I've got out of any of the cars that I've driven or got. So it's pretty damn incredible. But let's start her up, shall we? Let's start her up, see what she sounds like. She's not the best sounding car in the world by any means. She doesn't rumble, grumble, have pops and bangs like most of the cars that I've got or driven or whatever, or supercars. But they certainly, start it up. I can't do anything rigorous with it because it literally has 9 miles on the clock, so the engine hasn't been running at all. So I need to kind of like be careful with it. I can't sit there. It has a rev system on it where I can't rev it anyway past a certain amount. But let's turn this car on and let's go from there. So you basically put your foot on the clutch. The stop button is just here, and then basically you start the engine up, and then there's the car. Okay, so there's the start up. I love that sweeping motion on the dial. It's absolutely brilliant. So as you can see here, you've got your dash, you've got your oil temperature just on the left, and then you've got your fuel just on the right, and obviously you've got all your details in the middle, seat belts, everything, lane assist, etc, 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 all your safety features. So yeah, I will go through them at another point, but I just basically wanted to go through this car for now, just obviously outside, inside, and so you guys get an idea of what this car is actually really like. We'll take it for a drive. I have test driven it before when it first got announced, and I loved it. So I'm hoping it is the same as what I drove before. I think it is. It's going to be the same car, but we need to be careful because it obviously hasn't been driven in yet. So yeah, without further ado guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, please comment, please subscribe to the channel. I am gaining more subscribers every day, slowly, but it's definitely getting there. I do hope you enjoyed this car. Obviously it might not be to everyone's taste, I know that, and obviously a lot of the cars I've driven and own are high performance cars and supercars, etc, etc, but this is something different. It's one of the fastest hatchbacks about. You have got other cars in the category like the Audi RS3, the Ford Focus RS, the Mercedes AMG A45, which I've got, obviously the Type R, which we're in now, and I think I'm maybe missing, oh yeah, there's the Golf R as well, and I think there might be one other car that's kind of in that hot hatch section. This isn't the fastest car out of them. I'd say out of those cars that are probably the fastest out of the hot hatches, could got to be the RS3. That thing is an absolute animal. Audi do know how to make a very good car, but this is just fun to drive, and that's what it's all about. I think driving should be about fun, being safe, and enjoying what you're doing inside the car, not about going, oh my god, it's a chore because I have to drive this because it's clanky and hard and horrible. So this is a fun car. So yeah, looking forward to driving it. But anyway guys, without further ado, I'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. Remember, please leave a like, please comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video guys. Take care.